Happy Sunday and a very warm welcome to my channel. I'm so glad to have you here, and you know it's always a vibe when we are in the kitchen together. So now tell me why it's 2025 and you still don't know how to make at least 10 to 15 soft and flaky meat pies at home. Ah, come on now. We can't let this slide, but that changes today. So if you love bakery style meat pies without perfect golden crust, but want an easy or foolproof recipe, then look no further. And guess what? If you're not a fan of eggs, you don't want to miss this recipe. Just sit back, relax, and then enjoy. Alright, let's kick things off with a filling, because what's a great meat pie without a delicious, well-seasoned filling? Here are the ingredients I'll be using for this recipe. First, I'll place my pot on fire and then I'll add 4 cans of tuna. You'll notice I didn't add any extra oil. That's because the tuna already comes with some, though I strained a bit off just to keep it right. So this will cook for about 5 minutes before I add some chopped onions for that extra flavor boost. Now I like to keep my pies very simple, so I don't usually go overboard with vegetables, but just feel free to customize it however you want it. I then added just a little amount of shrimp seasoning and a tablespoon of powdered pepper for that perfect kick. Just in case you don't want powdered pepper, you can actually omit it. It's actually optional. Yeah. All ingredients used will be listed in the description box, so just check. This has been on fire for 8 minutes now. I'll just give it a quick stir and then I'll just have a taste of it if everything is fine or if the salt is okay. You know, we don't play with flavors here and everything is just right, so I'll just let this simmer for extra 5 minutes and then we're good. Filling is ready now, so I'll just set it aside and move on to the next stage. But trust me, this is about to be so good. Moving on to the next stage, I'll start by measuring the flour. But let's be real, the secret to a perfect meat pie starts with a precise measurement. So I'm using 1,204 grams of flour, and I'll add just a pinch of salt for a balance, and 2 tablespoons of powdered milk for a richer taste. Like I said, I'm keeping this recipe very simple, so no garlic or onion powder will be added to this recipe, but just in case you want those flavors, just feel free to add them. The next thing to do is to mix it up and add a teaspoon of nutmeg. That's optional. And then goes in 950 grams of soft chilled margarine. Again, a soft chilled margarine, because if you want a flaky or soft meat pie, this step is everything. But if you want a firmer crust, then this recipe is not for you. When it comes to mixing, gentle hands are key. I'll first of all mash the margarine with my hands, then lightly work with it using the tip of my fingers. No over mixing. I repeat, no over mixing. Just make your pie crust very tough instead of melt in mouth flaky pie or flaky meat pie that we aim for, and we definitely don't want that, so just keep that in mind. Are you still watching and loving this? Please don't forget to like, share, and then subscribe, and also follow us on all socials. I truly appreciate it, and it really helps a lot. This is the outcome after mixing. And as you can see, I'm using my spatula to check if everything has mixed well. Like I said, you don't want to mix too much, especially with your finger. The thing to do is to allow our dough rest. So I normally do not form a dough, so just feel free to form if you want. Yeah, I'll just cover with a cling film and then keep this in the fridge for 15 minutes roughly before we continue. This step is really important, so just keep it in mind, and I'll see you after 15 minutes. Yeah, that our dough is well rested, it's time to roll and then shape our pies. So I have my board and rolling pin ready, and of course my dough. Here's how I fold my dough. to get that perfect meat pie shape. First, I'll flour my surface to prevent sticking. Then I'll take out some dough and just roll it out. Mede me nsa bɛte kakra na ɛsɛ mood na mede ato so. Don't forget to flour your rolling pin as it's very important. And I'll begin by rolling my dough. Since I want a thicker crust, I won't roll it out too thin. Once I'm happy with the thickness, I'll just use a bowl to cut out my preferred shape. You can use any shaper or any cutter you want, and that's optional. Then I'll remove excess dough and then set it aside for later. Still here and then watching, I truly appreciate your love and then support. Please do not forget to like, share and then subscribe. I truly appreciate it. Onto the filling, I'll just add a generous amount of our delicious tuna mixture that we made earlier to the center. Then I'll brush the edges with either water or egg wash, but with this recipe I just used water. To help seal it, I'll just use the tip of my finger and I'll press the edges together to close the pie, and just like that we have our perfect shape. You can as well use a fork to shape your pie, and that's totally fine, but I mostly prefer using my hand. Do it again for the second time. I've already floured my surface, as you can see, and my dough is already on, so I'll just roll it out and then cut to my preferred shape. With the rolling, like I said, I want it a bit thicker, so yeah, just do it how you want it. And I'll cut to my preferred shape and size, and when I'm done, I'll add my filling and I'll seal the edges, and then we are done. So I'll just do the rest off camera just to save time. Now moving on to the last part, that's the egg wash for the perfect golden crust. For our egg wash, I'm just using evaporated milk for a beautiful finish. So if you're not a fan of eggs or you're allergic to eggs, you can just use the evaporated milk and add just a little amount of water to help dilute it. If you're allergic to eggs, like I said, this method is perfect for you, but if you do prefer egg, just whisk some into the milk and then you're good to go. Last part will be brushing my pies with the milk wash I just made, and while brushing, my oven is already preheated, so I'll just bake these for 35 minutes at 150 degrees. Please keep this in mind that baking time may vary depending on your oven, and here we have it: soft, flaky, golden brown, and absolutely delicious meat pie. If you ever tried this recipe, please don't forget to leave a feedback. I would love to hear how it turns out for you, and also share to inspire others. Thank you so much for watching till the very end. I truly appreciate all the love and support. I don't take it for granted. See you in my next video and have a blissful week. Bye.